I didn't talk to Erik ten Hag, I left Manchester United to feel loved. Andreas Pereira left Manchester United for Fulham in 2022. Andreas Pereira says he left Manchester United to go and feel loved, as he detailed how Sir Alex Ferguson lured him to Old Trafford from Erik ten Hag at PSV Eindhoven. The 28-year-old left the Northwest in the summer of 2022 after a series of loan spells at the likes of Granada, Valencia, Lazio before returning to Brazil with Flamengo. He enjoyed a fruitful spell back in his native Brazil and earned a move in the Premier League to the Cottagers. Pereira dodged talks with Erik ten Hag in a bid to see out his departure, and while there was question marks over his departure, he has proved the doubters wrong as Marco Silva's side continue to defy expectations in the English top flight. Leaving United, you're like, am I really going to do this? Am I sure? In the end, you're never 100% sure, really. Sometimes you think stay and have another go. Other times, you have to leave, said Pereira on Vibe with 5. I wanted to play, after COVID, I wanted to play. I was going crazy, wanting to play in the Premier League. I wanted to show that I was good enough. I was very close to joining Everton, and suddenly my father called me and said, Andreas, you never played in Brazil, you're Brazilian. I was like, where do we go then? The president of Flamengo jokingly called my dad and said, if he wants to come, he can come. Everyone at United said, you're crazy, you'll stay in Brazil, you'll never come back to Europe. Everyone in my family wanted me to come to Brazil, but they were like, no, what are you doing? I wanted to play in Brazil and want to feel loved. I didn't feel the love that I thought I should get. I wanted to feel loved by my own people, play close to my family and enjoy football. He added, this was when I came back to England, to Fulham. Erik ten Hag, he worked at PSV when I was 16 years old. Before leaving for United, the PSV president and Erik ten Hag came to speak to me and my dad and said, look, everything is set up for you at PSV. If you stay here you're going to play in the first team. But I'd just been to United and spoke with Fergie. I was like, I'm going to United. That's why I didn't want to speak to Erik, because I knew him and I knew that, at the time, it was always a conversation, like, Andreas, stay here. You're not going to play every game, maybe one game in every 3, you'll be around the squad. That's not what I wanted to play. Erik ten Hag deserves one more season, as Man United players' self-respect slammed. Former Manchester United defender Wes Brown believes Erik ten Hag deserves another year in charge at Old Trafford. Wes Brown believes Erik ten Hag could be in trouble if Manchester United fail to win the FA Cup, but says the Dutchman should be afforded more time in charge. After a string of disappointing showings this season, the former United defender also called on players to take more responsibility. Saturday's 2-2 draw away at AFC Bournemouth left them in 7th as they face the threat of their worst-ever Premier League finish, following their 7th in 2013-14 under David Moyes. They sit 13 points behind 4th-placed Aston Villa and 10 off Tottenham Hotspur, who are 5th in the Premier League. Ten Hag could still scoop silverware with their FA Cup semi-final against underdogs Coventry City on Saturday. Brown, who won 13 trophies at Old Trafford, has claimed that United should allow some security and believes he has secured enough credit to lead the club into next season. I don't think that Manchester United are the sort of club that should be changing the manager. They should have a respectful 3 or 4 years to get what they want done, he told The Zone. They have to give him one more season, it's simple. I think the manager has done enough in the first 2 seasons to secure another season. I like Erik ten Hag. United have had big-name managers in and it's all been the same, so something is not right somewhere. You have to give the manager time, because if you want to kick on, and injuries have stopped him doing what he's wanted to do this year. Martinez is a big miss. He changed things a little bit for Manchester United. He brings power to the defensive line, just like Varane. This season is a tough watch. It's not brilliant now if you're a Manchester United fan. Last season was positive with a good league finish and 2 finals and a cup. This is where they want to be. The FA Cup could be massive. Erik had a fantastic start last season, finishing well in the league and getting to 2 finals, winning 1, Brown continued. United have a great opportunity to get to the FA Cup final. Winning it will be a big boost. Manchester United are used to winning trophies, so it'd be massive for the manager. it's one he'll want to win or he could be in trouble. Injuries, particularly in defense, have hampered Ten Hag and his side this season. Lisandro Martinez, who enjoyed a sparkling debut season in the Premier League, has endured spells on the sidelines with further problems for Harry Maguire, Raphael Varane, and Luke Shaw. During the difficult campaign, criticism hasn't been far from Ten Hag and his side, but Brown believes players need to stand up if they haven't been performing. He said, "Manchester United need to be doing better, and a lot of people take it out on the manager, but because I've been a player, I'm a player person, and I think the players need to stand up as well. Even if it's not the first 11 performing, you have to have the respect about yourself to go and play well. Even if you are a sub, you have to get on and show the manager that you are good enough to be straight in the team. It's just not happening." With what's happened and the injuries that Manchester United have had, the manager needs more time. There may be some different changes among the players in the summer and how Sir Jim controls things in his own way, which will include bringing some other people on the football side to do that. The manager has been fine and did a very good job last season, and they've dropped off a bit this season with missing some bigger players at the back. Manchester United need to bring top-need players in the summer, players that are bossing their positions and bring characters to the team, demand more from the other players. The players that come in need to gel. At times, this season, they have played as individuals, and you can tell the top three are teams that are playing together, scoring together, winning together, and losing together. Nemanja Matic sends transfer message to João Neves amid Manchester United links. Man United have been heavily linked with the possibility of signing Benfica midfielder João Neves in recent months. Former Manchester United midfielder Nemanja Matic has advised João Neves to stay at Benfica for now amid reports linking him with a move to Old Trafford. United, who are gearing up to face Coventry City in the semi-finals of the FA Cup at Wembley on Sunday, are set to be in the mix for a new defensive midfielder this forthcoming summer. Casemiro, now 31, has regressed at an alarming rate this season and is in need of replacing. According to a report coming out of Portugal earlier this week, United have installed Neves, 19, as their top target for the summer. A report also claimed United co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe had met Neves' agent, who is renowned super agent Jorge Mendes, to discuss the possibility of a transfer for the youngster. Neves has excelled for Benfica this season, racking up 50 appearances in all competitions and chipping in with 3 goals. Though he is primarily a defensive midfielder, he can also operate as a box-to-box midfield player. Widely considered as one of the most exciting midfielders in Europe, links to clubs of United stature comes as little surprise. However, former United star Matic, who spent 5 years at Old Trafford between 2017 and 2022, believes it would be in the youngster's best interest to continue his development at Benfica for the time being. "I think it's too early for him to take that step of leaving," Matic told Portuguese newspaper O Jogo. "If I were him, I would stay at Benfica for a few more years to play in the Champions League and to mature more. I'm sure his time will come and, therefore, he doesn't need to rush. João is already at a big club at this point. I'm sure his future at Benfica will be very good. I think it's too early to leave, but of course, in the end, it's always his decision." Neves, who started all 6 of Benfica's matches in the Champions League earlier this season, has been heavily linked with a move to United in recent weeks. Last month, United skipper Bruno Fernandes, who spent time with the youngster on international duty, said he was ready to make